Hello, everyone. Welcome to your very last discussion post, focus notes. You are almost there for the end of the class. But I did want to just talk about this one a little bit because it is a topic that is a little bit more kind of involved in today's life. Now, obviously, all throughout history A, all throughout world history B, we've talked about things that have led us to where we are today. Right? We've talked about the agricultural revolution all the way back in history A. We talked about the first civilizations. We talked about all the different revolutions. And in this class, we've talked a lot about the 1800s and the 1900s, history that was very close to today. And so obviously had a pretty huge impact on overall how the world works today. And one of these topics that is a historical topic, but is something that is still going on, is this idea of terrorism, right? Now, terrorism and terrorist acts have existed throughout history. Basically, every civilization has had some sort of terrorist act happen to it. But this idea of terrorism really took hold in the United States and in our current era in the early 2000s. That's when the war on terror started. That's when the 9/11 attacks happened. And so this kind of word and this concept has become something that's very polarizing in today's world, has become something that is a hot topic issue in today's world. So, when you are going through this particular focus notes and discussion posts, I really want you to try to focus on terrorism as we would look at it as historians, right? So, some of these, in fact, all of these questions are about terrorism and anti-terrorist organizations today. These websites in this video will kind of tell you the biggest threat of terrorism. You'll have to talk about what type you've seen mostly in your life. You can talk about you're going to talk about the FBI and the TSA, things like that, right? But I want you to really try to do so through the lens of a historian, adding your own personal stories, your own personal experiences, because that is what history is it is a accumulation of millions upon billions of people's personal lives and what has happened in those lives. So adding your own personal experience to help you understand what this means for the world and what this means for kind of the historical record. Why is terrorism such a big talking point over the last 22, 23 years, right? So, again, these are topics that I know can get very personal. If you've had someone who fought in the Middle East, someone in your family, maybe, if you know of anyone, if you have relatives or family or anyone who's been involved in any of this, or friends or anything, it can be something that's very close to us. So it can be very difficult, and I understand that. So if you need any help, if you have any questions, if you're struggling with this discussion post, please reach out to me. But then also try really hard to be as objective about it as you can. Watch the video, go to those websites, and try to answer these questions in as objective a way as you can based on that information and based on what you know. Okay? As we get closer and closer to modern day, history gets difficult because our parents, some of us, have lived through these events, right? I was 6 years old when 9/11 happened, so I remember that. So things get difficult. I understand that, but it's still really important to understand these things from a historical perspective. Okay? So again, any questions, any concerns at all, please feel free to reach out to me. But otherwise, you guys are so close to the end of the class. You've got this. And let's finish out strong. Thanks, friends.